Hi Flosstube. Joan from Made by Mama Joan. Today is Friday the 16th. I was going to do this Flosstube a little earlier today, but I've been stitching with a couple of my friends came over today. We stitched from like, I don't know, 7:30 this morning until about 3:30. So I'm just getting around to getting one of these shot. Not sure how long this one will really be. I don't have a whole lot to talk about. I have not been anywhere too exciting. Been spending a lot of time up at the new house. I painted all last weekend. I have a big chunk of the upstairs painted. Need a little help with the vaults. Mama Joan don't do vaults because she doesn't get on ladders and do heights. Anyway, we're kind of on the downhill slide on that house, so been really busy trying to get stuff done there. And anyway, so I was thinking after I shot my last video, I was talking about my One Nation. You know, my One Nation that is all done now. But I wanted to tell you about a little bit of trouble I had. So these last two top lines, was it the last two top? No, I was on the third line from the top. So North Carolina. Yeah, I put two ends in. First of all, I stitched all the way to the end of my line and it wasn't coming out correctly. And so I frogged out all of this because it was like a thread off. And I stitched it back in. And then it still wasn't right. So then I went and I looked and I had two ends in North Carolina. Okay, fine. Pulled that all out. Wasn't quite right. Was a thread off. Well, that's because my O was off. So the OCD in me, I ripped it all out and restitched it. So the end of that had been restitched about 3 times. But anyway, done now. Ordered my frame yesterday. I'm kind of excited about that. So I'm going to get that taken care of, hopefully very soon. Then, so since I finished that, I talked about my do things, in all things be exceedingly diligent. So I did pull that out. I think I talked about this last week too. So here's, I've had this half done. So now I have all of my alphabet in. Working on my house. I'm on the downhill slide. I'm so excited. But let me tell you another little story. So from 1 to 12, yeah, I started doing these up here and I was one thread, it was just one thread off. This whole line was up one thread. So I tore all of these out and I restitched them. And then I got to the 8 and it's one thread off now going this way, not up and down, but this way. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Right now I think I'm going to leave it because it's one thread and I don't think it really makes that much difference in the big picture. So we'll see, because my OCD may kick in on that too. But I am on the downhill slide. I'm pretty excited. I'm hoping, I don't know. I don't know how much time I'm going to get to stitch. I think I'm going to stitch a little bit more yet after I get done with this video because my hubby is up at the house and he won't be home for a couple hours. And I probably really should be packing. But I think I might stitch because we'll be busy all weekend then between maybe moving some stuff up to the garage, up to the new place, and finishing the painting. And I don't know, maybe we'll attack the floors next because we bought some flooring. So those are the things that I am working on. Excuse me. I'm not quite sure then what I'm going to tackle after this. I really like to do a small project maybe. And I may throw one in between finishing this. So that's kind of, stitching is kind of a little slow. That's why I'm saying I don't know how long this video is going to be. Although sometimes I think shorter is better. Can move on then. I did pull out some vintage stitches that I've done over the years. I think a few of these, well, two of these at the very least were fair squares based on what's on the back of these. So here's one of my fair squares that I finished back in 2009. And this, I believe, is a Bent Creek piece. Here's another 2009 piece, the back. Here's the front. This, I'm pretty sure, is, sorry, Kitty's in here thinking he's got to sharpen his non-existent nails. Little House Needleworks, I believe, is this one. And then this, I think, was just a straight exchange. Somebody, they finished. Sad. Not sure if I finished it or she finished it. I'm thinking she did. But it's Prairie Schooler. This is actually pretty cute. This is the back. But it's pretty dang cute. And I believe I have this book. So there's a few more fair and squares. I have my fair and square ready to go for this round. I'm kind of excited. I should get it mailed off to my little partner. So there was a couple of vintage stitches, and I have to address, I always say I don't always remember things I've stitched, like the designer or the name of the design. I may know the designer, but I've been stitching for 40 years and I have lots of stuff and I just can't always remember. And a lot of stuff I've, over the last probably, I don't know, 10 years, I've tried to keep a notebook of it, but I have more than one, and right now trying to find them and then trying to find the name of the piece or going back and looking on my blog, it's just kind of daunting. So I apologize that I don't always know what the names of patterns are, but I've stitched so many that even sometimes I've forgotten what I've stitched, even once I drag it out from somewhere. I just, and most of my stuff is pretty much packed away. I'm still pulling a few things off the wall. I pulled a couple things. I have a couple more I'm going to show, but I even packing away stuff, even now thinking about, it's like I can't even remember some of the stuff. I happened to dig through some stuff up at the house because I was looking for something in particular, and I can't believe how much stuff I have. So anyway, bear with me on the fact that I don't know everything I've stitched. I really try, but I have other things in my little mind going round and round. So here is this. I stitched this clock. This is yeah, I'm not going to remember this. I can kind of see the pattern, but I can't remember the chart or the designer name. I'm sure somebody will, and if you do, put it in the comments. That'd be great. But I stitched this in 2001, and I really enjoyed stitching this. So that I have, as you can see, it needs battery. It's been hanging on the wall upstairs in one of the bedrooms. And then I have one other clock that I did. Now, I am pretty sure this is a drawn thread. And I can't, I don't, oh, yep, 2001. Apparently 2001 was the year of the clocks. And my initials, I believe I did. My initials I did in a box stitch. The J and the S. So there's my second clock. Now, this is a Sudbury clock frame, and my friend Jill was here, and she was looking up. Sudbury does still make stuff, but I don't think they make either one of these clocks anymore. So, hope you don't want to have one of them. And then for my vintage stitches, I have not started these. I was going to bring out another WIP, an old, I guess we would say, since we're in the vintage thing, I have vintage stitches, which I showed you a couple in the last two videos. But these are, and I don't know if you can even get these anymore, but they're birds of a feather. And I have, and they're the seasonal French girls. So I'm not sure what that word means or how to even pronounce it. But I have that gal. I have this gal. I have this gal. I even have this gal. There's the name of that one. I even have this gal. She be all kitted up. And then I have this gal. So I do believe I have the 4 seasons. Now, these generally aren't my style, but they're just so funky that I'd like to at least accomplish one of these. So, I don't know, maybe I will. Maybe that'll be a start somewhere, along with the 100 other starts that I have. I'm trying to catch up on getting my WIPs done. And the WIPs I have are generally large WIPs. So we'll see. I want to try to get this one I'm working on done. Like I said, maybe get a couple of small ones done. I do have the Plum Street henpecked. I should have brought it in here. I forgot to bring it in here. I have it ready to stuff, and maybe next week, Kelsey, I think, is going to join me next week. And maybe I'll try to do a video on how I stuff mine with sawdust. Not that that's really rocket science, but people have asked me. I'd like to do that. I'd like to do a drum tutorial of a sort, but I have to get something stitched up to make into a drum. So that might be my next thing I do. So I think that's all I have for stitching, and I haven't been keeping up very well with the Common Threaded Stitcher on Instagram. I missed a few days. One of them was, I think, Favorite LNS, which of course is Stitchville, and I was going to go back and read, at least put them in there. I haven't done that yet. So Stitchville is my LNS. I highly, highly recommend that if you're ever in Minnesota that you visit that shop. You won't be disappointed. And then my stash. I did take a few pictures. It's really hard to see where how much stash I have, as far as, like, I have at the bottom of our basement steps, I have a horizontal file and 2 verticals. And then I have like 5 baskets up here full of things I want to stitch. So I haven't taken pictures of my baskets up here yet. And taking the pictures downstairs, they're kind of dark down there and whatnot. So we'll see how that goes if I manage to get those posted. And I'm not sure if there was anything else. Oh, maybe books. I don't really read much. I think I already discussed that. And then today's was favorite floss tubers. And you know, I've seen a lot of other people say this, and so I'm going to take the easy way out too and say that it's really hard to just choose one. There's, you know, people I like to watch, and I don't watch them as much as I used to because I'm just too busy, and I try to, when I'm sewing and things, at least put them on and listen to them. But so I guess I'm catching up with my Instagram common threaded stitcher posts here on Flosstube. So like I said, this one's not going to be too long. I'm only at about 17 minutes, but I'm going to talk about the bags I've listed today. They're all ready to go. The first ones, I have this strawberry fabric, and these, I do have them in the 3 sizes, and what I've done with this, since I have a good amount of yardage, I just posted it up as choose your size, and I put just these 3 sizes on there, so you can choose, you want them all 3, you can order all 3. If you want to just order the large, that's fine. I'm going to see how that goes. You know, opinions are appreciated on what you think. I had more up there of styles, but I seem to sell a lot of just these standards. If you want the other, my Donna Ray or Pat's on the Go bag, the one with the handle, and I may throw that one in there yet. I just have to make one. But I just thought, well, you could choose right off of there and let me know what you want. So these strawberry bags, this is, and like I said, I have them in all the 3 sizes. Then I had some fabric, some coffee fabric, but I didn't have a whole bunch, and it was, the way the pattern was, it was kind of different. So here's the first pattern from this fabric line, and this is the front, so there's little coffee beans. Now this, I only have, of this particular design, I only have 3, and they're only in the standard size. So these are limited, and they're limited in size, they're limited in the quantity I have. So again, here's the front, here's the back. So that coffee bag, this was from the same, it was from the same cut of fabric, but just the way it was on the, laid out on the fabric. This is the other design, and this is the front, but as you can see, the backs are kind of totally different. So I did list them as 2 different listings. So I have 3 of this size in this standard size of this design. I do have 6 of these in a standard size. And then I also have the large in with this coffee design on the back. And these of the large, I only have 4. I didn't have enough to do all 3 sizes. So there's no accessory sizes, just the way the fabric was laid out. Sometimes it doesn't go the way, I don't know, the length of it. It goes across the different way. So then cutting it is a little bit more complicated, and it doesn't work out the same as when I can cut them the original way. So those are what's listed this week in my shop. Remember, I always can do custom orders. Just send me a conversation. You can send me fabric, or if there's a specific size you want, if I can make it happen. I am trying to get a prototype up of making a bag where the window probably won't be as big, like all like this. It's going to be a little bit thinner or less, not too much, but a little, so I can accommodate people who with Q-snaps that do 11 by 17. I just think that 11 by 17, this is way too much vinyl to be sturdy enough. So I'm working on that. Plus the zipper would have to be a little bit longer than what I'm using. So I've been kind of working on that. I'm still trying to work on light covers. I haven't gotten them listed yet, but I am doing that. I've just have been busy. I've been busy, but so that's what's in the shop this week. You can check me out on Instagram at Made by Mama Joan. I have Facebook, Made by Mama Joan. I do have a blog. I haven't updated it a whole lot, but you can go back and look at all the things. A lot of my old vintage stitches from the last at least 10 years are in my blog if you want to go all the way back to the beginning. It's kind of interesting for me to go back and look, and like I said, I look at them and I'm like, oh yeah, I stitched that, or oh, I forgot I stitched that, or whatever. And my blog right now is still Stitching Squad. Again, I'm trying to get everything changed over. I just haven't done that yet. So that's kind of what has been going on with my life. You know, I do want to try to get one of these out, at least try every week, but we'll see how that goes. Depends on how my life is going. Or at least I want to do a shop update. So next week, look for Kels and I. I told her she needs to bring her fair piece that she had entered in the county fair. We do have things in the state fair. Kelsey did take a couple of my things. I would have liked to put in a couple pictures, but they're packed away and I just didn't have the energy to dig through everything and try to find what I needed. So she took a couple of my things that I had put into the county fair, into the state fair, and she put her bee, well, I guess she won't be showing you her bee next week because she took it to the fair, and state fair starts next week. And again, I haven't decided I don't know if we're going or not, hubby and I. We usually go every year, but this year might be different just because we're doing house stuff. So thanks for stopping in and watching. Hope you enjoyed this little video. Thanks for subscribing, for watching, for your comments. I try to go back and read them all and at least, you know, give a like or whatever, a heart, or leave a remark or a thank you or something. I do try to read them all. I do appreciate them. I appreciate you watching and listening to me babble on about, I don't know, my silly life. So I think that's about it. I hope everybody has a great weekend. I'm going to go and try to get this uploaded again wish me luck and have a great weekend. Talk to you later. Bye.